Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Nasdaq and SPX price prediction based on Elliott wave analysis. So we're gonna see this intraday. For this Friday, we see, of course, we saw in the daily that, well, if we break this level, if we take the 886, meaning we're looking for lower to take the low, and we did, and we took with it, of course, an invalidation of a bullish here with a little bit of decisivity here. We see, of course, much more clearer, but I don't know why it has retraced directly toward the upside. Very ugly, guys, very ugly prices. Those past 2 weeks were very ugly, honestly, but yeah, we're still seeing a lot of confusion in the market. Everything is still looking like unsecured and unconfident, I would say. Yeah, so even this move toward the downside is still not so much confident, still looking, of course, corrective. Probably you are unfolding here can be, of course, kind of like a leading diagonal wave one, but this is not really nice clear price action that you would like to have the whole time. I don't know why. It is a very critical price action for all the markets the last 2 weeks until now. So what is next right now? Of course, the highest possibility still, of course, for lower, since we took invalidation a little bit more decisively, but it's still with the wicks, but still, of course, better than nothing. And of course, we have a kind of here a potential of leading diagonal, potentially 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5 continuation towards the downside for a big A, B, and a C here. Yeah, so it might still be unfolding as an expanding flat, very tricky one, right? 1.23 W, X, and a Y here in double zigzag, and of course we're looking for lower prices. So basically this is what I see right now for Nasdaq. I don't see any kind of continuation for bullish here, unless this is gonna turn into a big wave 1-2, which I doubt it. Of course, after having several 1-2s, it is 4 times 1-2, so that's too much, right? We see a lot of confusion still, right? A lot of correction sideways, and even this move toward the upside was not like what we were planned to have after this massive, very aggressive and massive drop, right? That was not the plan, but yeah, everything is, when it is against the trend, might turn, of course, to something like this at the end, right? So it might turn into a correction in a complex structure. We see also that during this move, the gold at the same time for Nasdaq, you know, it is the opposite of Nasdaq, right? You can see this part from the gold, how crazy it is, of course, with the price action, very volatile and very confusing. You can see clearly the difference between, of course, the psychology and the sentiment and the clarity in the price here, while here it is very lost, right? And the same, of course, for Nasdaq. That's why we see a very complex structure at the same time. Nothing is very clear for the market, so we have to be always careful, guys. For the SPX, we see as well a potential drop down here. However, for the SPX, we were expecting a potential 1-2 here. Don't forget that you took the high in an expanding flat 1.38. In case we are bearish here, it might be the case scenario, and this is very high possibility that it is an expanding flat A, B, and a C toward the downside, but it's still corrective, right? So we still potentially in a wave 4 here. Don't forget the invalidation of bullish still there. If the price is gonna take this 6,400, okay, then we got a signal that it's done. Nothing is bullish anymore. We're moving toward the downside, whether we bounce and we continue for lower later on. So to be watched, of course, expanding flat is a very likely here in confluence. I would say let's have the targets for wave C here in an expanding flat wave C. Here we go. So wow, okay, so the common target can be exactly with the invalidation. So yeah, that is already a signal, guys. So we have to be very careful. If we take this invalidation, that means, yeah, we are moving impulsively 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The things has finished already there. This might be, of course, an ending diagonal here to finish a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You finish here in A, potentially B, and a C. You're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, or even a zigzag, sorry, W, X, and a Y. Yep, so finished over there with a wave 5 as a diagonal. So yep, we gotta also be careful with SPX. Very critical price and very tricky. Stay safe, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.